Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we'll be looking at the IV characterization of solar cell. Most of you might have done an experiment using a solar panel, where you might have plotted the current versus the voltage by varying the resistance across the solar cell and keeping it under the sunlight. And you might have seen a graph in this form. This is the current voltage graph, the red one, which you can see over here is the current voltage graph, or the IV characterization, by varying the resistance, right? So this basically we plot the graph in this form for simplicity. But then the actual graph of a solar cell is in this form. So what is the graph of a PN junction diode? So this is the graph of a semiconductor, any semiconductor, or PN junction, or any of those semiconductors will have such a graph. You might have done this experiment in your 12th grade also, where you took the IV characteristics of silicon or a germanium, and then you get a graph something of this sort. This is without light, right? So this somewhere over here you'll have a cutoff voltage, or the threshold voltage, after which the current rises very largely. So this is under dark conditions, dark or just normal ambient light condition, I mean not the sunlight conditions. But then if you fabricate a solar cell, and if you put it under proper irradiation, then you will get a graph in this format, the illuminated graph of IV characteristics. This is the same graph of the diode, which or the semiconductor that comes into the fourth quadrant in this graph. Now what we actually this is the actual graph of the solar cell, but then what we do is that we take the mirror image and we'll get something on this form, or the mirror image of this graph is what we plot in the first quadrant in this form, right? Now we'll look at some of the major parameters over here. Let's see what are the major parameters in this particular graph. So first, we have seen that the voltage is on the x-axis, current is in the y-axis, right? Now this point over here is your open circuit voltage, VOC, which is your open circuit voltage. What do you mean by open circuit voltage? Open circuit voltage means whenever you keep your solar cell illuminated, and if you just measure the voltage that is coming across the solar cell without connecting any load, then at no load condition, or when the circuit is already open, what is the voltage that you are getting across your solar panel or your solar cell is your open circuit voltage. This has a very direct relationship with its band gap. So let's say if your band gap is around 1.2 or 1.3, you will get a open circuit voltage which is slightly less than that value, because of the small losses in the while the electron is getting transferred. So always your open circuit voltage will be less than the band gap that you get in electron volts, and it would be near to the I mean it has the possibility to have voltages or open circuit voltages very close to the band gap. So that is one significance of this open circuit voltage. Now another parameter that you can see over here is the so at this particular voltage the current will be 0, because at open circuit voltage it means that the circuit is open and therefore there is no current except the current that is passing through the meters that we are using for measurement. and then as you move downward, which means that here the resistance is infinite, which means it's open, and then you slightly reduce the resistance to smaller values and you get a graph, you get graph in this form, and finally you will end up at this point called the ISC. ISC is short circuit current. ISC is short circuit current. Now it means that how much you will get if you short your solar cell, right? So short circuit current, how much current you will get when you short the solar cell. So which means that the voltage at this point will be 0, but then you will have the maximum current that will be, because of the 0 resistance, you will get a maximum current. Now these are the main two parameters that you have, and let's see. So this is how we, this should have been the ideal characteristics of a solar cell. So let's say an ideal characteristic for a solar cell should be in the form of a square. So if this is the VOC and this is your ISC, the ideal characteristic should have been like this. Right? Yeah, so this should have been your ideal characteristics of the solar cell, but then you will never get this ideal characteristics. You will always get a curved graph, and the more it tends to this square or the rectangular form, the better the solar cell would be. So generally we would try to get this curve very close to this rectangular shape in order to get maximum efficiencies. Now there is something known as your fill factor, right? Fill factor, you must have heard about this term when you learned about solar cells or anything, or when you have done your measurements. Now what is fill factor? Now in this graph, first of all you need to find what is the power, and where is the power maximum. This is you need to find where you want to operate the solar cell, right? So these 2 points, what is the power at this point? If you check, you know what is power. Power is I into V. At this point the current is maximum but V is 0, right? I is maximum but V is equal to 0, so therefore the power is equal to 0. At this point also you can see the V is maximum but I is 0, which means that the power is again 0, right? So the power keeps increasing from this point to this point. Somewhere at this point you will get a maximum power, and then it again reduces to 0. So if you look at this graph, the graph which we have kept over here, you can see where is the maximum power that is happening. Maximum power is the product of I into V. Therefore you need to maximize this product. You need to maximize the product, right? The maximum power will not occur when I is maximum, nor it will occur when V is maximum. It will only occur when the product is maximum. So you can see in this graph, if you look at the power over here, here it is 0, again here also it is 0, right? But then the power keeps increasing in this fashion here linearly. At some point you will get the maximum power, and then at this point you will get the maximum power, which is the maximum of the product of current and voltage. So this is your maximum power point, right? Now in this graph also, at some point, let's say this point, you will get the maximum power. So let's plot that graph as well. So the maximum power is at somewhere at this point, right? So the current corresponding to maximum power can be written as I maximum, and here the current voltage corresponding to maximum power can be written as Vm. It can be always observed that Vm will be always less than Voc, and Im will be always less than Isc, right? Now but the power at this point is the maximum, that is the main point. So P max can be written as Im into Vm. Im doesn't mean it is the maximum current, but it is the current at maximum power. This is the Im is the current at max power. Similarly, Vm is the voltage at max power, right? Now we were talking about fill factor, right? So what is fill factor? Now ideally this solar cell could have achieved a maximum power corresponding to this point, right? But that is the ideal case, but that is not the practical case. Now in practical scenario, this is the maximum power that can be achieved at this particular operating point. So how much does the practical power fill the ideal power? Ideal power, that is what is meant by fill factor. I hope it is obvious from the term fill how much is the practical scenario filling the outer square. That is what is meant by fill factor, right? Or the ideal power divided by the practical power. So fill factor is given by, now the practical power will be what? It will be the product of Imax and Im and Vm, which is the current at maximum power and voltage at maximum power. So Im Vm divided by what is the ideal power, which is this bigger square, right? The area of the bigger square is the ideal power. The bigger square, the area of the bigger square is Isc, the short circuit current, into the open circuit voltage. The short circuit current into the open circuit voltage, or you can say it is the how much does the small square fill of the larger square, right? So that is what gives your fill factor. Vm Im divided by Isc into Voc is your fill factor. This is the formula for how much is your smaller square filling the larger square, or the larger rectangle, and the small rectangle filling the large rectangle, how much part of it. So I hope what is fill factor is very much clear. Now let's look at what is efficiency. So efficiency is what? Efficiency can be written as output power divided by power input. Now here we know what is the output power, right? The output power is or the power at maximum power point. So this is known as the maximum power point. Now we do have a lot of devices for tracking this maximum power point. In this graph, in this IV graph, at any point you want to find, in this graph there are a lot of operating points, so out of which one of the point will have the maximum power point, right? So from there we'll always consider the power at maximum power point, and then we'll divide it with the input power. That is how we find the efficiency. So efficiency will be equal to the maximum power, or the maximum, the power at the maximum power point can be given as Im into Vm divided by, so power output by power input into 100, because, or percentage efficiency. Yeah. Now what is the input? What is the input power? Let's say if you're taking the solar spectrum, we already know what is the solar constant, 1367 kilowatt watts per meter square, or roughly for calculations with the consideration of AM 1.5, air mass 1.5, we take the solar irradiation at the surface to be as 1 kilowatt per meter square is the rough general value that we take, with consideration with the sum of the light is getting reflected, as well as the air mass 1.5 is the standard that is taken across the world. So always we take the power input as 1 kilowatt per meter square. Or if you have the irradiance measurement instrument, then you can directly find what is the power input at that point by using the instrument, and then you can give it over here as the power input. It is up to you how you want to do it, but generally you can take it as 1 kilowatt per meter square, or you can take it using the irradiance measurement device, the power meter. I mean, you can find what is the current irradiance at that particular point, and then you will get a much more accurate value. But this, if you take it as 1 kilowatt per meter square, it will be a very rough value, but still you will get approximate values by taking this solar constant value as the power input. So this is your percentage efficiency, or so into 100, into 100 will give you the percentage efficiency. If you don't multiply with 100, you will get it in as a fraction, the efficiency as a fraction. So so this is the general characteristics of solar cell, IV characteristics of a solar cell. I hope this is clear. And now these dark characteristics are very much necessary to see whether the fabrication process is very well done, because if you don't have proper blocking voltage, I mean the voltage, if it is not blocked properly till at this point, then it means that the fabrication itself has some problems, and you might end up getting a curve which is similar to this. Instead of forming a semiconductor, you might end up forming a conductor. So if your fabrication process is perfect, then you will get a proper semiconductor with a good blocking voltage, and this would be directly proportional to the VOC of your device. The more blocking you have, the better VOC you will achieve. And so it is important to maximize both voltage and current. So it is I mean that should be an optimum, because our power output is basically the product of these two. And I hope that's all with the IV curve. If you have any doubts, we can discuss it in the class. I think we'll wind up over here. Okay then, guys.